Welcome back. Just moments ago, Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt gave an update at a press briefing at the White House. She zeroed in on the U.S. strikes in Iran and what the Trump administration calls a successful mission. Let's bring in CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi for much more on this. Olivia, thank you for joining us once again today. We know Leavitt seemed to give an update on that meeting with Iran that President Trump alluded to earlier this week when he was attending the NATO summit. What did we learn about that? Is it really actually going to happen?
Yeah, Mugo, that is the question. We know when the president was at that NATO summit, he held a press conference where he said that the U.S. would be meeting with Iran next week. That made a little bit of news and a lot of questions. Who would be meeting with Iran? Would it be Steve Witkoff, the special envoy? Would it be any higher-ups in government? What would this actually look like? Take a listen to what Karoline Leavitt said specifically about that meeting and whether or not it's even going to happen.
We don't have anything scheduled as of now, but I spoke to our special envoy Witkoff at length this morning, and I can assure all of you we continue to be in close communication with the Iranians and through our intermediaries as well, namely the Qataris, who have been an incredible ally and partner throughout this entire effort. And as I said, this administration is always focused on diplomacy and peace, and we want to ensure we can get to a place where Iran agrees to a non-enrichment civil nuclear program. And there are many other requests that the United States has. Those details continue to really, they're just starting. Of course, the operation was just on Saturday night, but we are in touch. And if there is a meeting, we will let you know, as we always do.
And no meeting scheduled yet, but you do hear from the White House podium there that they are focused on diplomacy and trying to figure out really what are the next steps forward. You heard her mention civil, non-enrichment nuclear programs in Iran. Well, what does that look like exactly? Mugo?
Yeah, just all very important questions there. We also know, I was going to say that our Jennifer Jacobs, she got 2 questions in. What did we learn there?
Yes, the amazing Jennifer Jacobs got in 2 questions at that briefing on 2 very important topics. One being that big, beautiful bill, which we keep talking about. There's only 8 days until the president says he wants to see it on his desk so he can sign it. Still has to pass the Senate, then go back to the House and get signed there. And Jennifer also asked about a potential meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel. Take a listen to her questions here.
We expect that bill to be on the president's desk for signature by July 4th. I know that there was a ruling by the Senate parliamentarian this morning. Look, this is part of the process. This is part of the inner workings of the United States Senate. But the president is adamant about seeing this bill on his desk here at the White House by Independence Day.
And then on Israel, is there a date set for the prime minister to visit the White House yet? Is he coming in a couple weeks?
There isn't a date, but the prime minister has expressed interest in coming to the White House to meet with the president and come to Washington. The president is obviously very open to that, but we don't have a date. When we do, we'll let you all know.
So 2 big questions about what is coming up for the president. One being that meeting with Netanyahu. That would be the first time the 2 meet in person since not only they struck Iran, but 2, that ceasefire was agreed to after the president had used a curse word when talking about what Israel knows they're doing in Iran. The second being about the big, beautiful bill, which they said the hope is that it is signed on the desk by July 4th, but she mentioned the Senate parliamentarian there who made a ruling that essentially upended a lot of the health care policy that is in the Senate bill. And you can imagine, Mugo, that healthcare policy is something that is very delicate to go through and to sort out here in Washington. So because of that, we'll have to see just exactly what the timeline looks like. Seems like this White House is still holding very firm on that July 4th deadline.
All right, we shall wait and see. So many things that we have to wait and see about. But Olivia Rinaldi, thank you so much for joining us and for your reporting.